My name is Brad. Lived in Calgary for about the last 25 years or so. I teach middle school and I've got a couple of daughters. They're also middle school age. I really enjoy what I do. I'm just really curious. I love learning. That's part of who I am and a part of what I just have chosen to do with my time and how I can be useful in the world. And I really like it. So I realized patterns of thinking that had been problematic for me probably since my late teens. It was not at all uncommon for me to tell myself that I was half the man I should be. Most guys at my stage of life have already got this figured out and do not need help. I might just have to accept the fact that I'm not really cut out for, to be okay with life. That's pretty hopeless. I felt pretty awful about that. I knew that there were so many ways I was not doing a good job of carrying all of this. And those who knew me really well also knew it was taking a toll on me and I needed help. But I had a very, very difficult time asking for help. I didn't have really good language to know how to identify what was going on, and I certainly didn't have many relationships. I hadn't cultivated many relationships where I actually could be vulnerable. Felt like it was safe to be vulnerable. Getting in touch with the center was very straightforward. Easy to be in touch with someone who can provide, the information that I needed. Find somebody who was able to say, okay, I think it sounds like here's what you're looking for. I think we can help you with that, and we can make it work with your circumstances and with your the time constraints of your work and your family, and we can fit this. We can make this fit for you. One of the things that really was a relief coming to Calgary Counselling Centre and getting involved first individually in therapy and then also in some group sessions was I was able to develop this structure around me of trusting relationships where I could regularly sort of reorient myself in the company of people who were exploring similar things and finding a place where, okay, it's okay to realize, actually there are other people who are going through similar things, and finding a little bit of hope where I maybe felt like it's okay to admit that this is getting away from me. I don't know exactly how to pull it back on my own. And in fact, that's actually, most of us don't know how to just pull it back on our own, and that's not that unusual. I took on board this idea that it was definitely my job to be an achiever, a provider, to have things together, to be reliable, responsible, to be correct. And this is, nature or nurture. I definitely carried this and drilled this into myself repeatedly. I certainly looked at other men around me, and I definitely compared what was going on inside me to what I could see on the outside of them. I never measured up, was how I saw it. While I was trying to figure out what was going on for me and internalizing all of this stuff, I was probably actually robbing other people of an opportunity to help me that they would have been willing to offer. If I had been willing to reach out and ask for help, they probably would have helped me. At least they would have been willing to listen, at least. Even if they had no insight to offer or no wisdom, they would at least have been willing to listen. And I didn't give them that opportunity because I was so convinced that it was important for me to project this image that I was okay. I was here to help other people, and that was my obligation, to help other people. And the solution was not necessarily to find a better way to be more perfect. The solution was actually to find better tools to just bring out the stuff that was really going on and actually be honest about it and say, you know what, there's not necessarily even a cure for all of that stuff, but there are actually some effective ways of working with it and sorting it out, and maybe figuring out what's actually going on. it can initially be intimidating, but that taking the risk can be very rewarding. There's something about having that experience, coming through on the other side and going, I didn't know what I didn't know, and now that I do know, I actually wouldn't want to go back. But the only way to get that is to be willing to step through onto the other side. And that can be scary, for sure. That can be scary. And there's no denying that's scary, but it's worth it. It's worth taking the risk.